What's up, guys? This is Trav back again with another episode of the TravTalks show. Today is a movie review edition of the show. It is on Captain Marvel, which I do believe is the 21st movie in the MCU. You could leave in the comments if I'm wrong about that. I kind of went in here not looking anything up like I always do. But I digress. Today's going to kind of be an experiment because there has not been a movie review, at least theatrical review, yet on the show. There has been movie reviews on my channel, but I really want to try to see what it'd be like to do it through this because I feel like this will be a nice laid-back way to do movie reviews, just kind of as, like, I'm going to not keep it too long. It's not going to be like the regular 1 hour, like the regular shows, me and Ryan, or, you know, lately me and Dustin did an episode. But Captain Marvel has released, and it is Carol Danvers' film. It takes place in the 90s. I'm a 90s kid, so it was really nice to have that, for this movie, like, 95. And I really enjoyed a lot of this movie. But first, let's go to the dislikes, because I always like to end on the positives, just to have something good to talk about at the end. But for negatives, I did not like the way this movie is colored, just because Guardians of the Galaxy had a lot to show for how the movie should be colored, especially in space. This movie takes place in space. That's a lot of sounds, but this movie takes place in space a whole lot, and I really was disappointed in the kind of shade. There's actually a video that I watched on YouTube of, like, comparing, like, the Wolverine movie to, and that is The Wolverine, not to be confused by Logan, but how Wolverine was so colorful and so vibrant, and then, like, you compare, like, the train scene in this that takes place, which is in the trailer, so that is no spoiler, completely non-spoiler review here for you guys, until the end, when I want to talk about some stuff in spoilers, but I will warn you when I'm going to do that. So don't worry if you haven't seen Captain Marvel until around the end of this. I'll let you know. But as for negatives, like, the way this movie was colored is just absolutely, like, just mind-blowing how bad, like, this, it didn't look terrible, but it had this kind of gray shade and dark and murky look. And Chris Stuckman said it really well, like, that it just has this kind of murky, dark shade to it, and that it really shouldn't. It's a Marvel movie. I feel like it may have been rushed out, who knows, and they just didn't color it right. They didn't take time in the edit to bring up the color. Like, that's all in the editing. Like, everything through movie production and everything, the way a movie is colored is not from the camera. It is not whatever, unless there's something to do with the camera that I'm unfamiliar with. All you, film junkies out there, all you, like, guys that have, like, film degrees and stuff, let me know. If there's anything with the color that would be different, let me know. Through a camera, but as far as I know, the editing is where all the color takes place. And so I was really shocked with the way this movie is colored. It's just kind of murky, and for a Marvel movie, that's pretty sad, because everything so far has been really well done and really well colorful, and I'm just, especially for stuff in space, like, think of it like this: Captain America Civil War, it pretty much only takes place on Earth. Well, it does take place on Earth only, and it's better colored than a movie that has, like, supposed to have, like, a vibrant space Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing, and Captain Marvel did not deliver on that for me. That is a major negative on my side, but it didn't take away entirely from the movie, and we'll get to that. I don't know what it was about Brie Larson in this movie. I'm not saying that she's a bad actress. I really actually enjoy her. I really love Brie Larson in Kong Skull Island. She fits that role kind of perfectly, and it just, you know, you could have got anybody for that, you know what I mean? But, like, they got who they got. They got Brie Larson, and they got Brie Larson for Captain Marvel, you know. And when I saw her on set photos as Captain Marvel in the suit and everything, I was like, that's going to be perfect, because she looks the part. She looks exactly like Carol Danvers from the comics, like, exactly that look. But something about it, and it may have been the direction, because her acting in this is just, it didn't sell me. It just didn't sell me. It's sad to think that Captain Marvel is the worst part of Captain Marvel. It's just true. Everything else about this movie I absolutely adored. It's just sad that the weakest part of the movie to me was her as Captain Marvel. I did enjoy some chemistry she has with some characters that I'll go into the positives about in a minute, but as for just her, if she's in a scene by herself, like, or, well, if she's talking to somebody, or, I don't even know how to explain it, she just kind of brought to the screen this stale brick sort of way, and I don't think it was necessarily her fault. I personally think that it was the direction of this, because no offense to the directors of Captain Marvel, but they have only done one indie film before this, and that's what Marvel does nowadays. They bring these like indie kind of like small time directors and to make this big Marvel movie, and that's great. That gives them a good time to shine, but it just didn't hit that hard for me. I just feel like her direction on acting could have been a little bit better. And going off of that with Captain Marvel, a lot of the action scenes just I did not buy. There is this scene between her friend, who is a pretty big role in this movie, and I forgot his name off the top of my head, but she has basically like a fight, and you see it in the trailers. It was just kind of, I don't know, fast cut editing fighting style. I just don't care for that. I want to see what's going on. I feel like we're over the whole fast cutting Bourne trilogy. I mean, the Bourne movies, they had really good fighting in them, but they were in a time where a lot of people were using that fast cut, can't really see what's going on. Batman Begins, Batman taking on, whenever Batman first takes on a bunch of thugs in like a warehouse area, it's so flash and just so, like, too fast, and you can't tell what's going on. But compared to, like, The Winter Soldier, where Cap, in the beginning of the movie, is basically, you know, infiltrating this ship, and you can see everything they're going on, because using these, like, wide shots, and the action is just so precise, and, like, just so, you can see everything that's going on. So coming from, like, Winter Soldier to this, and this being what we got for fighting, is not okay in my book. Like, it did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. Like, I was just, you know, especially for like a space movie with, like, you know, the most powerful Marvel character ever, and we're just getting this, like, I don't know, something about it was off, and that's one of my negatives. Can't really go too much into it, but there's definitely some scenes where the emotion should have hit more. It definitely, there's like a whole lot of these scenes, it was just a little bit, and I'm not talking about humor, I'm talking about like just legit, like, supposed to feel something for this character. And a lot of the stuff with Captain Marvel, I mean, it wasn't bad, but sometimes I just felt like, that scene could have, like, been a little bit better. And I know that is to a point of just critically picking it apart, you know, like, but it is true. Like, I do want to feel something when I go to a movie, and if there's a scene that's supposed to be sad and make me feel something, I was just really shocked at how a couple scenes were like this, where, you know, the whole movie is basically, and you see it in the trailers, like, it's not a spoiler, like, she's trying to find out more about her past because she can't remember things. So when you get to the point where, like, she starts to remember things and stuff starts to happen, it didn't really hit me as hard as I wanted it to. It really was like, okay, but it wasn't terrible either. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for the negatives. I really didn't have anything else wrong with this movie, so on to the positives. Breath of fresh air with this, because I get to rave about what I liked about this movie. Goose the cat. Yo! Goose! Give me more Goose from now on. Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson. The people that put together his 90s face, the CGI is state-of-the-art. It has never been better. I've seen set photos of him with the dots on his face and all of that, and so they clearly de-aged, you know, made him younger, and it looked so good. And going off of that, his acting is brilliant. A lot of people are complaining that, oh, he's a different Nick Fury because he's just different in the 90s. Well, yeah, you are different from the 90s to now. Like, he's seen some stuff now. He's a seasoned veteran at this point, basically, of S.H.I.E.L.D. And back then, you know, I don't know when he would have started, but, dude, Nick Fury, like, and Captain Marvel, when Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson were on screen together, I was sold. As soon as he shows up is where the movie picked up for me. Everything before that was just okay, and I was worried. And then when you get to Samuel L. Jackson scenes, I was blown away. I really enjoyed the chemistry, the laughs, the humor. Brie Larson shined a lot more around him. And Phil Coulson. Phil Coulson's good. He's always been good. Every single scene that took place on Earth, except for a couple of those little moments that maybe didn't hit emotionally that well, most, like 90% of Earth scenes were amazing. Like, this movie had Terminator references. It has everything that you want in a Marvel movie when it comes to Earth. Would I like to see more of the space stuff? Yes, because it is a Marvel movie. They could have shown more of that, but the fact that this movie does have a lot of Earth, really, it's so ironic that the fantasy part of it didn't sell me enough until we got to real life, down to Earth, literally, with Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson. Their buddy cop back and forth was absolutely spectacular, and Goose the Cat, like I said a second ago, couldn't be a better character, and he is way more important than you think. If you haven't seen the movie, which surely you have if you're listening to this, but if you haven't, Goose is a surprise and is more important than you think. I'll leave it at that. Ben Mendelsohn. Wow. Blown away. I always call him Krennic from Rogue One. I literally sometimes never remember the dude's name, and I've always called him Krennic. He was an amazing Krennic in Star Wars Rogue One, but he is probably even better in this film. So good, plays a bad guy so well, and I was absolutely thrilled with every scene. And it's ironic because his action scenes, there are scenes where he has to fight, and it was great. Like, those scenes were done really well. I was just shocked that Captain Marvel's scenes fighting weren't as good, in my opinion, but his scenes, I believed, and he just plays a bad guy just way too well. It like he's always been cast as a kind of a villain. There's some stuff near the end of this movie that is pure Marvel goodness, and if you're the type of person that does not laugh at Marvel humor, I don't know what kind of person you are. This movie was so funny near the end, and it really started to pick up for sure at that point. It definitely has its lows, but there's so many highs in this movie where I'm just captivated, and it's just a movie to turn your brain off, because it's not a movie to just, like, go in with, like, oh, like, what, you know, something, like, I don't understand. Like, don't try to understand things, just turn your brain off. And that's been a lot of, like, the backlash on this movie and the mixed feelings. Every opinion that I've ever seen on this movie so far, I'm not saying that they're wrong, because it is an opinion and you have a right to your opinion, but no opinion that I have truly seen except maybe one person, and Chris Stuckman. Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Jahns are the two that actually make the most sense. But there's so many opinions out there, people just so angry at this movie for just ridiculous reasons. In my opinion, their opinions are really ridiculous, and like I said, it's fine to have an opinion, and it's fine to feel a way about a movie. You can go in and not enjoy a movie, and then I can enjoy, but I do enjoy the movie, and that is fine. There is nothing wrong with two people having completely different perspectives on a movie, but a lot of people, it's just gotten to this point where, how I feel about Captain Marvel is it is not as bad as people are making it out to be. Yeah, maybe some of the editing's weird, maybe some of the, like, Brie Larson stuff is not as good as it could be, maybe some of the emotional impact is not hitting as well, but man, the characters in this movie make it really good. It just is. I don't know, I just thoroughly enjoyed myself in Captain Marvel, and it is a movie that I'm definitely going to give another chance at some point. I may actually go to the theater again and see it, just, like, to get another perspective, you know, maybe I'll see more negatives, maybe I'll see more positives, you never know. I always give every movie, whether I see it on Blu-ray later or what, a second chance, no matter what. And I would advise anybody that just absolutely hated Captain Marvel, give it another chance. It is not as bad as people are making it out to be. A lot of reasons that people have against this movie are absolutely just, none of them make any sense. I haven't found anybody that has a thoroughly good reason. Thought out, good reason. It's just little minor. People are just minorly complaining about this thing. Like, and picking it apart. And also, if you're one of those people that pick apart a movie because it's like feminist and like it's a movie about a woman or whatever, go somewhere else. Don't be listening to my podcast because I got no respect for you. I'm going to say that right off the bat. I have no respect for you if you are against a woman leading a movie, and all those people on Rotten Tomatoes that voted the movie a big like thumbs down without even seeing the movie. I got nothing to say to you. I don't know what to say other than I got nothing to say to you and I got no respect for you. But to the people that actually did see the movie and you have a firm opinion on it, I have a lot more respect for you. But it's okay to dislike it, so leave me in the comments, guys, what you thought about Captain Marvel. I want to know your thoughts. If you have good thought-out reasons as to why this movie was really, really terrible, then let me know. If you enjoyed Captain Marvel, definitely let me know that as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Captain Marvel in theaters yet, leave now, unless you don't care, because I'm going to spoil it ever so slightly. I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to call this section the message to the haters. All right? So we're going to dig deep. We're going to get a little personal today on the show, just a little personal. And this is something I wouldn't normally do, but I have been so shocked by the outrage against this movie that I feel like in some form on the internet I need to get this out. I need to say this because I just don't want to hold my tongue on this anymore. So before I spoil it, I will go ahead and give Captain Marvel about an 85. 85 out of 100. I really enjoyed it, but like my loves outweigh the hates. My likes versus dislikes are many. There is more likes about this than dislikes, at least for me. But like I said, let me know in the comments what you thought about Captain Marvel. And now onto the spoiler section. From here on out, I will be saying stuff spoiling Captain Marvel. I can't beat it over your head enough. Definitely leave the room and turn me up. Oh, you already did. Okay, bye. Oh, I'm kidding. I just imagine myself cutting off, like, abruptly because someone was just like, exit. Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, loses his eye to Goose the cat. A cat scratches out Nick Fury's eye. Okay. This is one of the reasons that I said a lot of the hatred towards this movie, and this is just one particular thing. This is one particular thing that I want to address. There are people that are so upset, so ungodly upset, that Nick Fury got his eye scratched out by a cat, and people were hoping for something different, and they didn't get it. They got Goose the cat scratching him out. Okay. So in the spoiler section of this movie, I'm going to discuss the relationship between Goose and Nick Fury. So near the beginning of the movie, like after Carol and Nick meet, he runs across this cat that he becomes friends with, and they have a relationship, like a friendship, all through this movie. That's what I noticed near the end about this movie, is they've established a legit friendship. Him and this cat have truly established a friendship. I literally watched somebody on the internet say this exact thing, and I won't point fingers, and I'm not gonna whatever and say his name. I don't even honestly remember who he is, to be honest, but I watched his review, and he said that in The Winter Soldier, when Nick Fury says, "Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." Okay, let's stop there. We would all assume, right? We would all assume that Nick Fury lost his eye through some kind of dramatic battle, maybe, I don't know, in Budapest or something like what Hawkeye and Black Widow always reference or have referenced in the first Avengers movie. I always just assume something about Budapest. I don't know. He loses his eye, but we all knew he's going to lose his eye in this movie. We saw the pictures of him without the eye patch. We knew he was going to have both eyes in 1995. Okay, so his eye gets scratched out by this cat. this alien cat. I keep forgetting I could spoil that. This alien cat. People are enraged because they're saying, that's it? That's how Nick Fury loses his eye? This guy literally said that Nick Fury was lying in Winter Soldier when he said, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. And I'm very surprised of how many people have been saying that. A lot of people on the internet are saying Nick Fury was just trying to sound cool. Nick Fury was just trying to, like, seem dramatic, that he trusted a person or an alien or like something, or like a human, something that is like a human. That's what we've always imagined, some dramatic way. Are you not seeing that it was the cat that he trusted? Why are people so angry about this? Whenever, to me, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I'm not even upset that they're upset. I'm just saying, I just want people to look at it this way. Would you rather have Nick Fury lost his eye in some really cliche, dramatic way? Like, what way would Marvel have what way would they have wrote this moment when he loses his eye? What way would have been anything but just really normal and kind of, we could have predicted that, right? The cat scratching out his eye, think of it like this. Completely unpredictable. I literally had no idea that was coming. I literally had no thought of, like, it'll be the cat that takes his eye out. I was thinking someone's gonna knife his eye out or something really just simple and boring like that. People need to open their minds to the idea that it's okay for it to be in this silly kind of manner, because in real life, accidents happen, and this is Marvel. Are you forgetting that this is Marvel? Where things happen, space, aliens, whatever. This is a Marvel movie, fantasy brought into our real world. An alien cat scratches Nick Fury's eye out, and people are complaining about that, saying Nick Fury was lying to Captain America and Winter Soldier when he said, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. That actually is an amazing line, especially if it was a cat that scratches his eye. And now it is canon that it was a cat. He trusted Goose. Him and Goose established a relationship all through the Captain Marvel. And then at the very end, he loses his eye to Goose. He trusted the cat, and the cat betrayed him. To me, that is pure, good Marvel writing. Yeah, is it silly? Of course it is. But that's the point. This is not a DC dark movie. This is a alien craziness. My point to say all this is this. People need to understand that when you walk into the movies like this, don't overthink it. Don't try to pick every little thing apart. Like I said earlier in the non-spoiler section, is people are picking apart this movie for silly reasons, and no reason that I have heard yet has ever been, in my opinion, good enough to absolutely hate. People are like, I hate this movie so much. Nick Fury lost his eye to a cat. I would rather him lose his eye in a way that I wouldn't have predicted, in a silly way, than some cliche dramatic way. What way would they have done it where it was really, really cool? And Ashley's point of view when she said is, people need to just enjoy the moment. Just enjoy things. Turn your brain off. People are just reading into this movie so much as like, oh, this and that, pick apart this and that. He's like, he even said in the movie at a point, I trust you not to eat me. Okay? He did trust the cat. So in Winter Soldier, when you rewatch that scene, and he says, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. That's exactly what happened. He wasn't lying. He trusted this cat. And as silly as that sounds, to me, it's different. It's something different. It's something better than your average, just someone slicing him in the eye. What was he going to do? Lose his eye to Thanos? Well, Thanos wasn't a thing until later. Thanos didn't even, him and Nick Fury did not even know each other. So, yeah, that's my whole point on this, guys. That is my message to the Captain Marvel haters, and you can hate me if you want for that opinion, but my opinion is people need to chill. People need to just relax, learn to go into these movies. When Avengers Endgame comes out, just, it's okay to notice things. It's okay to figure out what is continuity and how it all ties together, but every little thing that is slightly just blah to you, you don't have to pick apart every little thing. It would be different if this was a biopic film about a real person. Like, let's just say you were making a movie about Sylvester Stallone. And Sylvester Stallone loses his eye to a cat in this movie. Yeah, that would be a bit ridiculous for that kind of movie. Yes, it would. But as for Captain Marvel, when it's a Disney and Marvel movie, turn your brain off and stop complaining. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. I know that was a little bit heated, but I really wanted to get that opinion out there. I'm so blown away by all the hate. And the haters come everywhere. And it's okay if you didn't like the movie. You can let me know in the comments in a legit paragraph what you didn't like about the movie and why you think it sucked. Maybe why you didn't like that his eye got lost that way. I personally love it because it's different and not the most cliche thing out there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry to be keeping you this long. I appreciate you guys for listening. This is, like I said earlier, this is going to be kind of an experiment to see if this is how I want to do movie reviews, or should I just go back to filming myself and doing it like food review style, but like through a movie review. I'm personally enjoying this so far because it's just focusing on just talking about it. Hashtag burp time, just burped. I'll let you guys go. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate every single one of you and love all of you. Thank you so much. Trav out, and peace out.